when I first suggested to George, my son, that at the end of his school term he could go to US scholarship to play football, just beginning of COVID this was, he just jumped at the chance. I think it took about 3 seconds for him to say yes. So we came home, started the process, and found Liam at US Sports Scholarships. We went down to Lowestoft, played a couple of games, or George played a couple of games in some very, very windy conditions down by the harbour. But it was enough to get some real time, plus he'd had some good images from and good video from when he played for Barking in the EJA League. We sent these off to America, to a couple of universities where George got a good few answers and a couple of very good offers. The first being Garden City in Kansas. George flew out, reported back to us how fantastic it was out there, the facilities, the training, the food was good, he was living on campus and having a thoroughly good time whilst playing his football and getting to the first part of his degree. At half term, he didn't come home the second time. He indeed flew off to, or drove off to Dallas, where he visited the city, went off to San Francisco and LA. Not bad for the first part of a scholarship for football, that was. So we could watch Jules play on the YouTube channels. He'd send us links where we could watch him. Always interesting, sitting up at 1 o'clock in the morning watching games in the US. A strange, surreal sort of feeling, but you could see it live on the TV, and it was like he was representing his country. They announced him as Georgie Downs from London, so there was you know, a proud moment for us to be watching. From there, George finished the first 2 years and has now gone off to South Dakota, where he's now studying there now. He chooses his own flights to come home. He always comes home for the long Christmases and the summers. So he picks his flights with my wife. They do a return flight, all very simple. George learned how to connect with Dallas. He's learned how to connect with the other airports that he uses to get to where he needs to get to. As a person, it's expanded his mind, it's expanded his body, physically and mentally, and his confidence is absolutely flying. To see him travel halfway around the world each time he comes back, and comes back as almost an adult, and it's just amazing to see the way he's grown. And I've nothing but to thank US Sports for this opportunity. Obviously, I know we are paying, but the better that George does, the less we have to pay. And the bonus is he's completed his first half of his degree, and now he's just working on the second half of his degree now, and playing for the university at the moment. The facilities, as I mentioned, are out of this world. New 4G pitches are laid continuously. Gyms, incredible gyms and gym equipment. The food, they look after you with the food, and now he's even got a small job out there where he's earning money each month as well to put towards what he wants to do, his dream. His ultimate dream is to be a footballer, and I've always supported that, or we have always supported that as a family. And if he doesn't make that, then maybe he'll stay up there and coach with the World Cup in America coming up in 2026 in US, Canada, and I think Mexico. There could be a lot of openings for young coaches out in the States. So Georgie's future is in his hands. As I say to you, he feels like he's a long way away sometimes, but we've learned to talk to him on FaceTime, WhatsApp, and as I say, we watch him on YouTube. So even though he's in another country, halfway around the world, he sometimes feels that he may be only up in Manchester or Newcastle. But it's only the travel home that makes you realise how far he is away. But once they're home, it's great to see them again. They do their thing, and then they pop back off, and then you get back in touch and you get on with your life again. They are young people growing up in a world that is massively different from when I was younger, and we feel this is an opportunity for him to be able to progress with his life. So once again, we're enjoying his time, he's enjoying his time. Thanks very much, Liam, and thanks to the team.